Hey, welcome to my channel, Crafting with Cami. Today we are creating a single page scrapbook layout. The photos I'm documenting are of a trip to the plant nursery with my husband, and they have such unique plants and cactuses, but there was a coffee truck there, and so of course we had to get our coffee and then walk around and look at all the fun plants. So it was a really fun date night for us. And in honor of my pictures, I have made myself an iced coffee. This is a iced Americano with some sweet cold foam on top. Made it at home, all on my own. We've kind of become coffee snobs. I worked at a coffee shop for a little while. And yeah, and then we got ourselves an espresso machine and we started doing all the research behind coffee. So that'll be sitting here, and we are going to get started on our scrapbook layout. One of the items I for sure wanted to use for this layout was Stampin' Up's A Little Latte paper collection. So I've already rotated all of these. They're double-sided. So we have that latte pattern. I absolutely love that. And the thin cuts that come with this collection cut these cups out. So that's super fun. On the flip side are these little coffee rings. This awesome plaid that looks so summery to me. We have some espresso beans, coffee beans, whatever you want to call them, coffee cups, some little coffee cup spoons. Look at how little those are. I love that they have the little patterns and the bigger pattern paper. We have some coffee splatters. This would look great as mud too, if you had some mudding pictures or something. We have some of this swirl. I love that. These little designs going down like latte hearts. And then another swirly pattern. And then the coffee beans or espresso beans, whichever you drink. I also wanted to bring in some paper that had florals or leaves to tie in that we were at a nursery. We were at a plant nursery. All right, this is what I've come up with. So as usual, I'm going to start on some white cardstock. I am going to try to bring in this coffee paper, some Honey Butter Suns, this Gnomes for Spring. Okay, so those are the pattern papers I'm planning to use, and then I'll bring cardstock in as we go. On the other side is the coffee rings. I've brought in a couple zip strips for my stash. So this one is actually from the March-April mix-in from Close to My Heart. And then this one is from that Gnomes for Spring. So both of these coordinate. So maybe instead of bringing in this huge pattern paper, I could just bring in one of these. And I'm kind of thinking something like this, and maybe use this coffee to house my photos. Maybe do something like this. Those suns just kind of, I don't know, bring in the yellows more. And then on the back side of this, I could cut out some of the mugs that I want to include. This is the Latte Love photopolymer stamp set. And I have put in the magnetic sheet in here. I purchased this off of Amazon, and then all of my thin cuts can just rest nicely in here that coordinate with this. And then I took these off of their carrier plastic sheet and just stuck them right into the case. So this thin cut here cuts out these mugs on the pattern paper. I think that is absolutely awesome. And then we have like a little coffee cup here that I could stamp, maybe on some either pattern paper or some coordinating cardstock to bring in even more colors. I got some papers cut down. So I thought a 1.5 inch white frame around this would look nice. So I cut this piece, which has those on the back, down to 9 by 5.5. And I thought these could kind of overlap a little bit if need be. And then this one is cut to 4.5. Okay, so I thought that could go there along with this zip strip to bring in more yellows. And then have the 1.5 inch frame going around that. And then my photos could sit something like this so I can hide some of that turquoise table. This was actually taken by the lady that served us our coffee. She wanted to use a picture of some happy customers for promotion, so she asked if she could take a picture of us, and heck yeah, just let me steal it off of Facebook so I can scrap it. So she posted us on her social media. I got to steal it right away, and that was fun. Okay, so this is obviously blending in with the background a ton. So I have my mocha ink and my toffee ink, and toffee will match these fence posts quite a bit, and I think the coffee rings on this pattern paper. So I'll go around it with toffee. So I just have my foam daubing brush, and we're just going lightly around. Look at how that blends in so nicely with these other colors. I love that I can use my Close to My Heart ink with my Stampin' Up paper. So we're mixing a little old with new today. Let me know in the comments below, are you a coffee drinker? How do you like your coffee? I used to just be black coffee, and then, I don't know, I started experimenting, and then I started working at a coffee shop, and then my husband and I really got into it, and we started doing research, and we've just kind of become coffee snobs. So we have our own espresso machine at home, and we like to just create concoctions and experiment. All right, look at how much more that just stands off the page. I love it. Let's go around this one with some toffee. The gnomes for spring won't be available anymore, but all of the Stampin' Up products that I'm using today will be linked in the description box. I'm bringing in a second Versamat and flipping it over here so that I have that foam cushion. I'm also bringing in some honey butter cardstock. Using my toffee ink, I'll go ahead and stamp this cup on my honey butter, and then I also have some glacier cardstock I'll bring in, and we'll do one of these mugs on the glacier as well. Here's some toffee paper. So I don't want to do tone on tone, so I am going to bring in my mocha for this. And I'm going to do a couple of these espresso or coffee beans, whichever you drink. I'm going to do a couple of the clustered ones, leaving enough room for our die cuts. And then that single. Don't want to lose that. These have the magnetic lids, so if you get these too close, you might end up misplacing one. So I'm using the mocha on toffee. If you wanted it to look more like cold foam or like the white foam on top, like a latte, you could definitely do this on white. And I might actually do a couple on the white so I can play around with that. I want to use this, but I have so many other embellishments planned. I might have to save that for another layout. And there will be a million more layouts. We drink way too much coffee. One of the perks for this die cut set is there are the individuals. So like this cup is an individual. This is for the coffee inside this little cup. So that'll go on our toffee here. And then it comes with two for the beans. So you can cut two out at a time. You don't have to run it through that many more times. And then the single bean comes with three. So you can cut out three of those at a time. Isn't that awesome? You don't have to run it through that many more times in your machine. It's just the little things. All right, I got all of the embellishments cut out. I just want you to appreciate the detail in this. It does that little slit in that die cut. Isn't that adorable? Here's the bigger one. I got those pattern papers cut out. I even did some sprigs from my stash. And then it cuts out two coffee rings at a time. So that goes inside of these, oh, I can't grab them, inside of these little cups. Like so. And then, can you tell I'm super excited about this? And then the big cups have these rings. So here's with the toffee paper mocha ink, And let's just grab this blue one for reference. Here is the mocha with white. So to me, this looks more like foam and coffee. So like if you were doing a latte. And this one to me looks more like coffee. I'm leaning towards the darker, this one here. What do you think? I think we have enough white on our page, but I'll hang on to these. I got some photo mats for my photos, and I'm just going to go around those with some mocha. I cut them in toffee, and I'm just gonna use my foam dauber and go around the photo mats in mocha. I have some florals cut out. I have that in glacier and in peach. I actually think this is flamingo, but I thought the peach would tie in nicely. And then I have some in yellow. And then I have all of the, here's another yellow one. I have all of these Enjoy the Ride embellishments. This one says stop and smell the flowers, wherever that one went. And I want to bring in some stickers, like this bloom one, and maybe these over here. So I might take those off of the carrier sheet and remove the adhesive off the backs so that I can play around with them. As you can see, I have quite the mess over here. I have all of my embellishments, all of the little coffee cups I've put together, stickers from the sticker sheet, any die cuts I think might work. So I have a mess off to the side here, but it gives me a chance to see everything I have to play with that's in this color palette and what will go nicely with my photos. So I just started playing around with some embellishments. I knew I wanted some coffee in each embellishment cluster, some florals, maybe some sprigs. So I'm just kind of rearranging those in a way that is pleasing to the eye. I don't want to cover the label on that coffee cup in the picture. I like to see where we got our coffee and what the coffee truck was called. I know I want to bring in a few of those stickers from the Enjoy the Ride collection. I think the potted flowers resemble the nursery pretty well. I try adding this larger tag that is part of the punch outs from Enjoy the Ride, just to brace this cluster on the right hand side. For my title, I am using some thin cuts, and I cut out coffee and plants. The perfect blend, right? I am trying it up top, and then I move it down to the bottom. I'm just not sure where I want that title yet. All right, here is the finished product. So I decided to put my title, Coffee and Plants, kind of around here. Did my journaling on this little sticker. I added a teal heart in each of the clusters. There's that one, and then one up here. I did go around the title, each of the letters, with some mocha ink, just to make those stand off the page a little more. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and until next time, live a life worth scrapping. Bye, guys.